that ooh yeah, but not all the way?
Ooh yeah.
Where did you get that from? Because you always do it.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna date myself.
I dated myself for like a year, and it just is like lotion and oil.
Whoa!
But the meals were very inexpensive. There's a lot of lotion and oil.
Always ended well too.
They always ended well.
Oh my God,
I've never.
There
was one time I fell asleep with some napkins and a bottle of lotion.
No.
But other than that,
That's a lot. I'm trying to go all the way there.
I'm trying to tell the story. Okay. Me.
Yeah, you lost that falsetto.
I guess that's never stopped.
Kickbackers.
Why can't I tag people?
Because we don't know what the fuck is going on. This whole thing. Well, look, it says I'm with JB Frank. How come I'm not with you and JB Frank?
I don't know. Maybe Facebook hasn't recognized that I've shaved off half of my hair.
Hey, Kai. What's
head
up,
doesn't
Big
look
Chris?
And no,
It's like, oh, who's that skinny?
Who's
that skinny-headed woman there?
Viewed as annoying.
What?
Huh?
Did you
What?
speak English just now?
Huh?
Views it over what?
What?
I didn't understand.
Did you understand? Okay, thank you. And
No,
see,
I didn't
JB
catch
is the resident translator.
Yeah, I didn't catch that
And
one.
he couldn't even catch that.
I wasn't really listening though, so he may have been speaking English.
it's hot up here. It's getting hot here.
So hot.
No.
I turn it.
No, wait, chill.
No. We're slingers, not swingers.
Oh.
Have you heard that commercial?
No.
Have you all heard that commercial? It's a Sling TV commercial, and this
I
couple
saw
invites
that.
another
Yeah.
couple. We're slingers, you know. Da, 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 da. And so they get there, and the dude's like trying to take off his clothes, and they're like, yeah, we're slingers. And then the wife was like, oh, slingers. And then she's like, honey, stop. Or basically like,
That's a lot. And he was ready to go. Yes, this is my chance.
yes.
This is my chance.
Oh,
boy.
man.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Why you call you smelling it, yeah?
Smell beneath.
Smelviny? That says smelling.
I don't know.
Who called us money?
Yeah, that's not funny,
Chris.
Chris.
What?
I hope that was a typo.
How the fuck this joint got 72 shares?
Because I just shared the shit out of it.
Yeah, I shared the shit out of it too.
You know, I'm like 150 groups.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Ooh, I can't read it, but thanks. Hi.
Enjoy the show, Chris.
So we've been on break for like
3 months.
18
Summer.
years.
Summer,
We're gonna post this in all the groups.
Summertime. Hey, that was the theme song for that summer. It's almost fall.
I'm posting in the Red Table group.
I did too.
Okay, so
Oh, God.
I'm posting in Lit Landlords too.
Landlords.
What
What kind of group is this?
That sounds like a great group.
Lit
And
landlord.
Choke and Stroke.
Okay.
And GWHS class of 1991.
Oh, my God.
I graduated high school in 94. I don't know why I'm in that group, but since you wanted to add me, Merry Christmas. You get this.
I'm like randomly texting this joint to people because like I can't figure out how to tag.
I just started doing
Watch
that
it.
too. There was a whole lot of folk missing in that list. I'm like, hold up, I gotta go back to my old text list.
Yeah.
Did that say sucking dick in here too?
Wait.
Whoa.
There was a group that
why are
said
you
sucking
on?
dick in here.
Stay off my page, please.
Sorry, there was a group that
Please,
said there's
just
somebody
stay off.
sucking
Wow.
dick.
Hey.
You be in some spicy groups, huh?
Okay.
Are we surprised?
Okay.
Spicy groups.
Oh, Shannon, can we talk about how y'all decide to come like being early and being on time? I was on time. I was here since last Sunday, just waiting. I didn't eat, drink, or nothing. I had the same outfit. I was ready for them to show
So
up.
he just told y'all he a dirty nigga.
But I don't talk about taking the shit on Facebook.
Well, I will have you know that my taking his shit on Facebook post has resulted in me having a date this week.
This is an ongoing feud
Why
for
was a
days.
shitty guy?
No, he's
For
not
days.
shitty at all.
That yet is yet to be seen.
Okay.
Don't say that. Don't say that. He's gonna to be a
Why you trying to shit on my date?
Yeah, leave,
I'm not trying. No, you
leave
trying to
it
shit on
be.
your date.
No,
I'm not
stop.
shitting on my date.
We're
She shit on
gonna
her
do
date.
good jujus. He's not shit.
Well, I hope he
He's
likes
a
shit.
nice, handsome
I hope
fella.
he likes
She
shit.
said he had
He's
no
a
problem
nice,
with her
handsome
talking
fella.
about her shit on
And,
Facebook.
and it'll be nice.
Good for him. He's
That is a matter of.
Anyway,
he only
Terrible.
lost 20 points.
I don't give a fuck how you
your point. Your point.
I'm Big Brother. I'm Big Brother.
So-
I'm Big Brother.
so
You gotta go through me.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, he does.
Shit.
You gotta go through.
Whenever what you
that.
tell me, Mel? When I bring a
Fuck
woman around, what
that.
you tell me?
What?
If I bring a woman around, what you tell me?
Oh, they gotta get approved.
Oh yeah, he
right,
gotta get approved.
right.
I mean, but
Oh, I don't subscribe to that.
but either way, your approval doesn't mean shit. I mean, we know this from another example.
Okay.
Sips liquor.
Okay, so on to the topic. Yeah. Why don't we do those introductions? It's been a while since we've done those introductions.
It
Yeah.
is. You know I'm not gonna be able to get my name right.
I was waiting for it.
Girls!
That's so loud.
I'm a living man. The righteous ratchet. If you throw it, I'll grab it. If you got it, I'll match it. Sundays, whatever time you get ready, I'm back at it. They call me Shaman.
Regular.
Wow.
She's
Shaman
regular. She's not
Shaman
regular.
Shaman, you know what?
Regular, regular.
Fantastic.
Regular, schmegular girl from the Bronx. I'm just a regular, schmegular girl from the Bronx.
You're from
I'm Cardi B from the Bronx.
Barty.
What up, y'all? It's your girl, So Mellow. Also known as Melanie Dion of House 4 Hand, the Queen of Creeps, the Breaker of Men, also known as the Conscious Creep.
That's what's up. Yo.
Boy!
You got your girl here now. You can get
What?
So you got
Don't
your
be
girl
What's
here.
up, y'all?
I
JP
will
Frank,
throw my shoe at
that
you.
Gangsta Geek, representing NWA, them nerds with attitude. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Oh, hey y'all. Happy Sunday. Oh, I'm Pandora Alexis, aka the Learned Hippie Otaku. Hi.
That's it?
That was dry as.
That's all I had. I'm trying. I'm in negotiating phase right now. I'm trying to negotiate right now. I'm negotiating right now. I'm sorry. I'm doing some stuff right now, y'all. I'm sorry. This is very important. I can't tell y'all what it is right now, but it's important.
Is it potent?
It's important.
Did you say you could or you couldn't?
Huh?
You could or you couldn't?
Couldn't.
Couldn't tell us. You couldn't?
Should I?
I don't know. I'm just saying because people, it's really a play on words for our.
You know how people be, cause in Great Express, they don't get play on words. They just be.
What? Shut up.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Ooh, excuse me. Now it's rated R.
Wow.
It was going to be that anyway.
You're right.
Hey,
All right.
well,
So what's the topics?
I'm a Houston fan of these, so I don't know what y'all talking
What are
about.
the topics?
I do.
All right.
Hi, Leslie.
Yes.
Go.
My sister's watching.
So,
Hello, Shauna. My cousins out in North Carolina. I hope y'all are safe through the, what's the hurricane called?
Florence.
Hurricane Florence. But they did check
That's
in.
my
I did
grandmother's
a
name.
family. That's the same name as the maid from the Jeffersons.
yep.
Yep.
Florence.
My grandmother's name is Florence Cohen on my daddy's side.
Florence Cohen. All
First topic,
Oh,
we
grandma.
just want to say rest in peace and prayers go out to the family for Mac Miller. When did he die exactly? Was it?
It was last-
About a week ago.
Like-
About
Did
a
you-
week
did you
ago.
yourself?
Oh,
Huh?
sorry.
Yes, I
Hey.
did. We went through all of the
right. You did yours too?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't hear it. I missed it. I usually be like, yeah. Okay, so yeah, Mac Miller, can I kind of go a little bit to the left of this, if y'all don't mind?
Uh-oh.
I didn't really listen to his music.
I didn't
I'm not that big of a fan. Oh, actually, I'm not a fan at all. But why do y'all feel the need to be like, you wasn't a fan of his music, so why you saying rest in peace? Like, one, I didn't say rest in peace. But what if I
He was-
if
Oh,
I
you did.
people
Yes.
are mad about it. Like,
Yes.
how dare you say rest in peace? You're not a fan of his music. Y'all
Are you
fake.
for real?
Y'all dick riders.
You weren't a
And
fan
I'm
when
like,
he was alive. Why you
he
listen to his
did.
music
He
now?
say rest
I
in
didn't
peace
hear.
to
I
somebody
didn't
that
listen to Mac
died.
Miller until he died, and I was like, damn. Like, and I felt like I missed out. I was like, shit.
These
I'm never
comments-
gonna get to look forward to a project. on
Those
this
types
man.
of comments always come from the folk, and the folk are usually
Yeah,
mad
the-
about
the
angry.
fake woke.
They're angry
The
about
fake woke.
everything. Like they were mad about black people saying "Rest in peace, John McCain." So, like,
Yeah, and I did see that. Not whatever. Okay, because we're not supposed to
Stupid.
say that.
That's-
they're the same black people who say "fuck President Obama," who also don't like Hillary Clinton. Like these are the people that we're talking about. So,
Oh, I don't like Hillary Clinton.
I mean, well, I should say.
I fucking hate Hillary Clinton.
There,
Fuck the Clintons.
I'm not
Nobody
saying you have
likes
to like
Hillary.
Hillary. Right.
None of
Most
us
people
like
don't
Hillary.
like Hillary Clinton. But
Well,
we
I don't
some,
understand.
some are willing to
We
I
understand.
don't
tolerate
like
her.
either of them, so I'm clear. I don't like either of them. But
We
Either
understand that she was a better candidate.
I didn't vote for
than
Bill. I
the
didn't like
guy who
Bill.
was in office. I said but we don't have to like Hillary to understand that she is smarter than and a better candidate than the person who is currently occupying 16.
this is true.
We'll talk
Yeah,
about
that's,
that later.
that's the whole point.
That's
Because
exactly.
I don't know anybody that likes Hillary. I think
Right.
we all hate her.
So
Well,
these are
strongly
these are
dislike her.
stupid people we're talking
There's
about.
people who
because-
just like to argue all the time about
Yeah.
everything.
Because I was like, y'all are, like I didn't do a Rest in Peace Mac Miller tweet because I had no connection at all.
Neither did I.
At all. But I felt hurt when Triple X Tentacion died because to me at 21 he's a child. He's a kid. I could be his
20,
father.
I mean, Mac is
So-
26.
And Mac
so,
26, right?
Yeah.
So
young
I
boys.
felt. Well, I don't feel bad if anybody. He could be 80. I
But
would
that's
still
a
feel
wasted
bad.
life. I mean,
When people
that's,
went
that's
on
a
me
life
like
that's
I
gone.
shouldn't
That's
be
ridiculous.
said that Triple X Tentacion died.
Here-
I didn't know none of his songs. I didn't know he died. And I was sad about it. Like,
Here's some advice.
People
Kickback
were
is-
sad.
being really rude about him because of some of the things that he did in his life, and that was messed up. Like that was messed up because
Yeah, we did a whole
Lots of people do that kind of
special on that
stuff.
shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, here's some advice,
I was
kickbackers.
just-
The only way I know whether or not you're stupid is by what you say.
I don't care.
So
No,
why
I
don't
don't
you
care.
watch what you say? Like, why don't we not be stupid? and
Because
be
people are
stupid?
It's
hateful.
easier to be
people
stupid.
are hateful.
The only way I know that you're
Okay.
stupid is by what you say and by what you do. So if you say and do stupid shit, in my mind, you're stupid.
That's
Stupid is as stupid does.
So
What do you do?
let's not be stupid, especially
is as
claiming
stupid
intelligence, because that makes you even more stupid.
And shutting them go at prices.
That's so. I'm so tired of hearing that. Like I am really so tired of hearing that. We've been hearing that for years. Come up with something new.
Who?
Oh my god.
For me?
Jesus Christ. Yes, you're
Yes.
the only person who does it, and you say it the same way every time.
No,
Shut
no,
the hell up,
he
right?
tries to. He tries to.
No, but the way he says it, like
The
the
rhythm, the
cadence. No, the cadence.
Oh,
That's the correct
I
cadence.
mean to say cadence. I didn't
That's
say
the,
rhythm. I
that's
said
the way
cadence.
God
I
wrote
said
it.
what I said.
It's a song. God wrote the song that way.
So, yeah. So I didn't listen. I didn't listen to Mac Miller until he passed away, and I'm sad that I'll never be able to look forward to a project from this man. Like I just never knew about it, and to see the outpouring of support. There's a lot of people who really did love his music, and it really touched them. And just because we weren't fans like when he was alive doesn't mean like his music is now locked off from like anyone who wasn't a fan when he was
Yeah,
alive.
that's
Art is usually appreciated the most when a person is gone.
Mhm.
So
That's true.
Yeah.
you know.
And one more little, I just want to put one little cigarette lighter on this thing. Ariana Grande was apparently
Ariana Grande.
Yeah, Ariana
Grande. I thought it was French. I thought it was French. I thought it was Canadian. Sorry. Ariana Grande, Starbucks drink. She hold up. Wait a minute. People are belittling her because she broke up with him.
Mhm.
Apparently, like they had
They had a very serious
volatile,
relationship. They had a serious
volatile
relationship. Yeah.
And I guess
And
she's
they're
saying
blaming
that
her.
I gotta back up. I can't do this no more.
Mhm.
And I don't know how many months or days or weeks because I don't follow either one of them. But at some point she stepped away, and then people were blaming her on the internet for his death. Now it's too much to speak on that I'm not qualified to speak on. I will just say, don't blame her for his death.
Thank you for
Right.
saying that.
That's
that
all
way.
I can
Thank
say.
you for
Like,
putting
it's
it
a
that
lot
way.
of little nuggets you can be like.
People want you
All
to
I'm
suffer.
gonna say is that don't punish her or don't attack her because he died.
it's nobody's job to make sure that anyone is okay, like in that way. Like it's if you are suffering and in pain because you're with someone, like it's not fair to ask you to have to like suffer and poison yourself for that person. It's just not fair. So like you can't blame anybody for that. You have no idea what happened. And,
Well, yeah. There's a reason why they call it self-preservation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just that simple.
People be like, people will try to shame you because they feel like you're abandoning someone at their low point. But it's like, I have to take care of myself too. I'm not about to let you drag me down with you.
Right.
Like,
Sometimes you gotta
work on with you.
Yeah,
I can't let you take me down with you.
You gotta take care of your star play, and if you're on an airplane and the gas mask drops, they inform you to put your mask on first before you help other people next to you, kids or your wife or your husband or whatever. Put yours on first, and put yours on first. If you sitting there and you fucked up trying to help somebody else, then both of y'all might not get no goddamn oxygen. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
Then I remember a couple times I had to tell Mel, like, back up, Mel. You just going to breathe on your own until I get my mask on me, Mel, because you're not gonna take me down with you, Mel.
Speaking of disasters, y'all, Cardi and Nicky are in the news again.
He's a disaster.
Speaking of taking people down with you.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently there was a altercation at New York Fashion Week.
Yes.
Cardi was apparently upset about some social media stuff that Nicky liked. Why are you?
He had a hole in his lip.
Oh goodness! I see it on this.
I didn't notice until he jumped, and I was like,
I was like, whoa. But yeah, I mean, the video basically shows, Cardi kind of mouthing off at Nicky, and then
come here,
come
here, bitch.
Yeah,
come here, bitch.
Security jumps up, grabs her out, escorts her out of the premises, and
bumped her head.
She threw her shoe apparently. So it's all the way fucked up. I mean, that's really all I gotta say. It's all the way fucked up.
Jack bumped his crown and like
Jack
Cardi
fell down
bumped
and
her
bumped his
crown.
crown, and Jill can't tell me after.
Yeah, so like she like bumped her crown like Jack and Jill.
That was a really long joke.
Offset wasn't there.
I enjoyed it.
It was a long joke.
Prevent this from escalating to the point that it did. But basically, Cardi is sick of Nicki Minaj's shit. Because Nicki Minaj is a biggity bitch and likes to bully people. She has a history of bullying people and popping shit and trying to jump bad with people who she know ain't gonna step to her, like Molly Was Good and Mariah Carey and fucking Taylor Swift. And she's also beef with Remy Ma, who she knows she can't whoop.
Right.
Remy shot her own friend.
And hasn't been in the same room with Remy for real, has she?
Bruh.
Cause she ain't about that life.
She jumped bad with Lil' Kim. Like, she has a history of beefing with people. But she only talks that rah-rah shit to people who she know ain't gonna say nothing bad.
Yeah, exactly. She's a punk.
Yeah, but let you be like, yeah, what's up? What's poppin'? And
she does it for her persona, and she's fake. Like, she wants to be the Barbie, and she really is the Barbie. Like, she's fake. She's plastic.
You don't think she a pussy. I think she
Well,
is.
I mean, here's my thing, though. Like, if I'm going to fight you, you're not going to know it until you getting punched. Like, there ain't going to be no big prelude and no whole bunch of shit talk. And who knows this about,
But she always do that.
She said she was trying to
all
stop close money.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see what Cardi has to benefit from her actions.
Talking about, Cardi ain't thanked me. Cardi ain't thanked me.
And then she got on her podcast and was talking
and went
shit.
off, right? And went off on her podcast, though.
People, and that shit'll get you killed or whatever the fuck.
Like, what you mean?
Well, fuck you mean, bro?
Get out of here.
Nah.
Get out of here.
No,
like,
man.
you a punk. You basically saying, like, my money long, I can pay somebody to take care of you. Oh, we ain't even gotta do that.
Touched.
Yeah, get touched. Okay. Why don't you come touch me personally then? Since you, like, big and bad. But no, Nikki isn't big and bad. She don't want those problems. She just doesn't. Nikki, no, cut it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different from a woman's perspective, but she doing stuff that's like, no, man.
She a punk.
She's scared.
I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, I don't approve with the things that I hear Nicki's doing.
Right.
Like, I don't approve of that
Right.
shit. I'm really not a fan of female rappers. I'm not a Nicki fan or a Cardi fan. I like Cardi as a person, but her music, I don't listen to that shit. But I like her more than Nicki as a person. well, not I don't know even one of them. What you call it? The image.
Persona
The
or
persona.
image, yeah.
I like Cardi's persona or
Stage.
image better than I like Nicky's.
Stage.
But I don't give a fuck about either one of them.
Right.
But I do. I don't think the Fashion Week video shows Nicki being a pussy. Some of the other things she's done has contributed to that picture, and maybe grand scheme out of all the shit, you can be like, hey, she jive man for that. She doing some bad shit. Because Remy said accused her of the same things that Cardi accused her of.
Mm-hmm.
So these are multiple people accusing you of trying to stop money. If you work with her, you can't work with me. If you do this, you do that. So Nicki does have a history of some Bama shit.
Mm-hmm.
That night though, I just don't necessarily feel like that night she punked out. I don't know what happened. No, so I'm not saying she didn't punk out. I'm saying I don't know what the fuck happened. At certain events, I've been in certain situations where I looked at a nigga like popping off like he doing that shit because everybody like you know what's gonna happen if I swing. Like you doing it because we're here, and you know goddamn well if we wasn't here you wouldn't do shit. So like I'm sitting there like you doing all that talking, all that yelling. You know goddamn well you only doing it because I don't want to lose X. You know I don't want to lose Y. You know I don't want to lose Z. So you'll do it here. Now if we was just on the way, you wouldn't do none of that shit. Cause I ain't got nothing to lose then. But you know here, I got a bunch of shit to lose. So now you laugh. I'm looking at you like, you got it.
Nicki just done some real fake stuff though.
Yeah, I agree. But I guess what I'm saying is, and I hate to say it this way, because this is I'm pretty sure this is not what Farrakhan wants me to say. I'd be interested to see them two by themselves and see what happens then. Now, ask me where I put my money. I put money on Cardi.
Fuck yeah.
So, be clear. But I do think that Nicki would fight. And that's where I think the difference between our perspectives is. I think Nicki would fight. I think she would lose. I think she would fight.
I think she would fight because of pride. I definitely
Well,
think she
what
would
other
get
reason
that
is
ass
there to
whooped
fight?
though. But I mean,
Is there another reason to fight?
I'm saying like
She ain't about that
either
life.
she could either fight or not fight, and I think that it's built up to the point where she has no choice. But if it came down to that moment where the two were in that place, she would have to fight.
That's typically what all fights are.
Well, no. Some people will walk away. Some people will be like, "No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this."
Some people
I have gone into fights like I'm gonna whip your ass, bitch, nigga, and I've gone into fights like I have to fight, and this is.
And some
there's
people
really no
will,
alternative.
and some people will go very far to not have to fight. Some people will go very far to try to. Have you ever seen like when a girl is getting her ass whipped and she's like, "No, stop, stop," and she's not even swinging. She's just like, "Stop."
She turned her
Stop.
head.
And she's just getting pulled around by her hair.
Yeah,
Yeah, and she's like, "No, stop. Just I don't want to fight." Like, girl, swing back, swing back.
Yeah.
You're in a fight right now. But some people will go to the point of like, "I'll let you just whip my ass, so I don't want to fight."
I'm not. I'm gonna do everything.
I mean, it ain't in my
can.
character. Look, listen, you can talk rah, rah, rah you want to me all day. I don't care. But once you put your hands on me, we got a problem. Now we got to handle it differently.
And it's a big problem.
There's no negotiation now. Now we got to solve this
Somebody's
problem.
gonna get hurt.
Yes.
Somebody's gonna
Now we
get
got to
hurt.
solve this problem
So
that
I'm
you
trying to
created.
do everything I
You
can
created this
to
problem.
avoid that situation.
Exactly, because I don't want to put my hands on people, and I don't like to fight, because I don't want to go to jail. And that's just because, no, I'm serious, y'all. Listen, okay? I'm 28 years old. I had to learn when I was like 18 or 19 years old, like, you can for real go to jail for fighting. So, like, I don't want to fight. I'm one of those people, I don't want to fight. But if you take it there, I will defend myself, because I can legally defend myself at that point. You got to be smart.
And I think it just
You got to be smart. You got to let them hit you first.
Those particular
Self-defense.
individuals,
No,
it
you
just
gotta let them
escalated to
swing.
the point where it was gonna pop off regardless of what
Oh,
they
it's cool.
saw.
I can take a hit. They can hit me first. That's cool. No,
Okay.
I want to be like, I was in fear of my life.
No, I don't want chin scars. I'm not taking
Chin
nice
scars.
punched on the chin.
Yeah, but I don't know. I remember I had a
Nikki caught the L on this one as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
Go on, Nikki.
I think no matter how it turns out, Nikki she has the worst. She comes out looking the worst. I don't think it's the way she comes out looking better.
Well, you know who did not take an L?
Me.
No, Nike. Thank you.
Hey,
Segue. finish it off. You started it.
So Nike is celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Just Do It campaign, and they have selected Colin Kaepernick, who you all know is the former quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, who started the whole protest in the NFL, the kneeling protest against police brutality, which has led to me not watching for now a second season. So they've made him the face of the campaign. They released a whole commercial about it. Nike goes so hard, they trolled the shit out the NFL and had the commercial play during the opening game of the NFL last Thursday. Mm-hmm. So last week they had that commercial play, which is like a big fuck you to the NFL, which as it should be, because fuck the NFL.
You was right.
So
Stop.
Okay.
Whoa. Stop.
I was
telling
agreeing
mommy.
with you. I was trying to support
Stephanie.
I was trying to support.
No. Anyway, so it's happened that people started burning their Nikes, y'all, putting tape over the swoosh symbols, but not doing the whole symbol. Forgetting to take the inside.
To do the inside.
Burning their Nikes, burning all kinds of shit.
Burning Nikes while they stood on their feet.
Yeah, apparently New Balances are the official shoes of the white nationalists. Whatever.
Yeah, New Balance.
It's
Okay.
Fucked up for
But
DC.
New-
Niggas love New Balances.
But New Balance tried to clean it up. Can we pretend they cleaned it up all the way? At least.
I guess.
But I
But
still
you
got
like
one.
New Balance, huh?
I'm from
He
DC.
says he from DC.
Oh, is that the thing in DC?
DC
Yeah.
niggas love New Balance. A fresh
Yeah,
pair of
pair of New Balance.
996s or
1300s,
574s.
1300s.
Yeah, they love New
I'm not a
Balances.
sneaker head.
But in any
Me
case.
neither. I'm a
So,
DC.
but yeah, so Nike stock and like online orders like skyrocketed. Nike is like making bread. First the stock dropped, and then people was like, "Fuck that! I'm rocking my Nike shit." People was head to toe on Nike all over the place.
I wish
Nike.
people wouldn't have been spending all that money on Nike then. Sorry.
Yeah,
People going out of their way.
I'm very happy that Colin was able to resume some sort of income. He stayed with Nike the entire time. They never dropped him. They were quiet on him for a minute, so they figured out what to do. And
Didn't they pay him like superstar status? Like his contract, instead of being like a normal sponsorship, apparently is on the same token as like LeBron James and like those types of superstars. So they were able to pay him more.
Yes, they are paying him more because they're giving him. He's going to have his own T-shirt line and potentially his own shoe.
Yeah, they're giving him the superstar treatment.
Well,
That's what they're called. That when I read up on it, it was like, yeah, he has basically the package that's offered to the big superstars.
Yeah.
So
And
they're
he is a superstar.
Yes, and he is, and I mean that man
He's
gave
a
up
global-
his entire career.
He's a global icon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he gave up his entire. This man will be written about in the history.
Yeah, he's a
Muhammad
Muhammad
Ali
Ali.
of our
Yes,
time.
he is.
I hate
He is. It's a beautiful thing.
And the beautiful thing about it is Nike wanted to be on the right side of history. But what I will do, and I don't want to do a whole bunch of critique of Nike because they did it. But I will say this. Adidas and Reebok and Under Armour all reached out to Nike because Colin Kaepernick was under contract this whole time. And was like, the contract about to be up.
Can we get that?
Can we
guy?
get him? And so I wonder what Nike would have done if all those other companies didn't reach out to them. But I do want to say Puma, excuse me. Jay-Z is at Puma. He was the first one that inquired about Colin Kaepernick because he was going to bring it to Puma. Jay-Z is in charge of any signings to Puma, athletic deals. Jay-Z is the head of that now. And he wanted Colin Kaepernick first. And he went Nike, what's up? Give me Colin. Y'all ain't using him. Y'all ain't doing shit. Let me have him. Reebok Q, who's Kendra from the Max brother, running that over there with our homies. And he was like, I want Colin. So niggas started reaching out like, we want Colin. And then Nike was like, fuck that, we ain't letting him go. So they re-signed him. But they had to re-sign him at a higher level because of the level of interest that was there. I do want to point that out. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it means anything to anybody. But I wanted to point that out. That's what was going on.
I think Nike would have re-signed him anyway because they're not a company to shy away from controversy.
Facts.
This is the same company that's kept on with Tiger Woods when he had all that shit with him with the rape allegations and stuff like that. So like, they're not adverse to being portrayed as the bad guy for a little bit of time, and they knew that this was actually a good cause to get behind. They're not stupid. And at the end of the day, this is a business decision. They know that they're going to make money off of it. but like they knew that this would be. Yes, you'd get a lot of backlash initially, but the end game is going to result in a whole lot of money to be made.
Well,
yeah, and real quick, Jay, before you go, I just want to say that we should applaud Nike for this, but be clear, they could have done this last year or 2 years
What was his
ago.
contract up?
His contract was up this year, but they didn't use him last year or year before.
Mm-hmm.
They just shelved him, just put him to the back of the. You know how you got
But
an
that was
artist
a
in the
power
label that's
move
whack.
because they waited for the NFL to pay them a certain amount, right?
Well, I don't know that they waited for that. That's what I'm saying. I don't know that that's what happened because Nike's been the official sponsored jersey of the NFL for a decade now. So I don't know that they waited for any special money. Now we got the special money, we're gonna do the right thing. I don't believe that. I don't think that's true.
Okay.
I think it
That's
was.
just me. I don't think that's true.
I mean,
But I'm not disparaging Nike. I'm just bringing some brevity to it. Like, let's not suck Nike dick right now.
I agree with that. And I
gonna-
agree with that.
I
agree with
I'm gonna add to that because I think that this was entirely a business decision, and the numbers prove it.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why they paid all of that money is because everybody around him showed them that he's worth all that money. It's just that simple. That's that. A lot of times, that's what happens in business. It is what it is.
It was a business decision.
Secondarily, Nike primarily markets to the 18 to 35-year-old age bracket.
Well, we've
which
all
is-
aged out of it except for her.
Well, true enough,
And
but that bracket also tends to include the minority vote because those things tend to march lockstep, and it shows in the numbers. Over 60% approval rating in that demographic. Once you get over 50 and over 65, it starts to drop through the floor for what Nike did. But they expected this because guess what? That's the biggest buying market in the country.
I also
It just
think that
is.
a lot of
It's all
35-year-olds of
business.
today are not the same, don't have the same mentality as
40
a
is the new
35-year-old,
It
10
is,
or
it
even
is.
20 years
40
ago.
is the new
It
30.
is.
Like people,
The 42 is the new
people,
32.
people are like, people
I'm about to pull
are
this.
younger now
Yes.
at certain ages. So like, I don't know. I do wish, I'm glad for it, great for Nike, whatever. But I do wish that people hadn't run out to just buy Nike products, just like as a like, ooh, good thing. Like I wish those dollars would have been used towards something better. Like maybe I don't know. Like we could have had like started a college fund or put some more money into the black banks, or put money into a pool to start a business in your neighborhood, buy a property to start, whatever. Like I wish that people wouldn't just go out and give these corporate companies their money just because they're doing things that they should be doing. I don't think we need to give Nike a special cookie. I think that we tend to forget that just because you're doing what you should do, like, I don't think you should get a special round of applause all the time for that. Like, you're doing what you should do. Like, that's what it is. You shouldn't always get, like, the highest renown to do it, and I wish people just wouldn't run out.
Yeah, when
and
they're
spend all that money.
doing your job becomes something that
And that's what the world is in 2018, is when you're doing your job, it's celebrated when you're doing your job. And I don't know, like, good for Nike. Like, don't get me wrong, it's great. I'm glad that Colin Kaepernick is getting some money because he deserves it. He gave up his entire career, something he worked on for his entire life, literally. As I have a brother who plays football, I see it. Like, it's dedication. But I'm just tired of special cookies for people always just doing what they should do.
Yeah, that's how I feel. They'll be like, yeah, good job, Mel. I'm like, Mel's supposed to do that shit. The fuck
Why
you
you
ain't
always
good
picking
job,
on
Mel.
Mel?
I'm not even
All the
picking
time.
on.
All the time.
All the time.
Am I picking on you?
Yes.
So she deserves a special no pick on cookie?
Oh my God, that sounded painful. Woo!
Glad I didn't see it.
That sounded
Did she yank
painful.
her dude?
That sounded like rip it.
It's only because
Like what's that show?
I reached all up in it and like got a good grip on it.
What's that from? Some movie.
It's a lustrous.
Okay.
And anonymous.
Animus.
It's animal news.
Oh my God, we'll get to him. We'll get to him in a second.
My beard blows in the wind, bitch.
All right, so moving on to our ridiculing white people
That was kinda-
segment of the show.
Let's on to the what the fuck story.
Yeah, Amber
Geiger.
Is that how you pronounce that?
Yes. And so this story is out of Dallas, Texas. I'm sure you guys have heard by now about the police officer, the off-duty police officer who came home from working a long shift and managed to park her car on the wrong floor and walk all the way to the wrong apartment door that had a bright red doormat on it and illuminated numbers on the side, and tried to get in and couldn't get in, and then
Was heard
the door-
screaming.
Yeah.
At
No,
the door, let me
do the new article where she managed to perfectly get off work, perfectly get into her car, perfectly drive home
Do
to the right
everything.
complex, perfectly cut the car off, perfectly, and then all of a sudden when she got to that wrong door. That's
Well,
when
she
the-
parked on the wrong
Oh, she
floor,
parked on the
and then
wrong
she went to
floor.
the wrong door,
And
which
then-
had a
yeah.
bright red mat on
Right.
right in front of the door.
And the numbers are on the side of the door, and they're very well lit. I've seen the signs. And she shoots the guy because she thinks he's an intruder in her
but
apartment.
let's talk about also how at first it was that she was trying to use it, and it was an electronic pass.
Yes.
It was an not a key. So she was trying to use it to get into the door. So at first she was trying to use it to get into the door, and then he answered the door, and like something happened.
And
And
then
then
the
it was
door
that it was
changed.
empty. I mean that it was
That it was
unlocked.
ajar.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
she just pushed it in.
Right.
And so
That's what
and then
got
she saw a
suspect
dark
to me.
figure and
Like,
she shot him.
Right.
Like a black man sitting in a house with his door,
With his door just open, ajar, like just
open.
push it open.
Open. You can push my
And-
door and get in the door.
Ironically, she had a few noise complaints against him for music.
And apparently there was a noise complaint that had been filed earlier that day.
Thank you, Kai. Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
There are also
you
stories of the neighbors hearing her banging on the door, talking about some "let me in."
Mm-hmm.
So you know the story keeps changing, and
Keeps
then
changing.
to
Keeps
add
evolving.
insult to injury,
more
they
easy to
now asked for. Well, they issued a warrant to search his property, to search his apartment, where they found a small amount of marijuana. What the
So?
fuck that has to do with
So?
anything, I
Not
don't
a
know.
thing.
But you know that this is what they do to us. They
Yeah.
always
Try
assassinate
to
our
scare
character after the shit hits the fan.
And also, it took them 3 days to even arrest her, and then I think the police union or
Yeah.
something bailed her out, and so now she's just walking around. And the thing to really note is the fact that she was off duty when this happened,
Yes.
but they're treating it as if she was on duty. Like the police union is stepping in, doing all these things as if she was on duty. She was not on duty. Technically, they should not be doing this for her. It's
I
terrible.
can only say this. I've stayed in a lot of fucking hotels. The only time I've ever walked to the wrong hotel room in my life is when I was drunk.
Yeah.
That's the only.
This ain't even a
We
hotel.
don't-
And that's not, and that's,
I'm
but that's
right.
the thing. We have all stayed in hotels. We've all stayed in hotels that we don't live in,
How many
and yet
times
we
you walk
have
to your
never
wrong
had
house?
this happen to
Huh?
us.
How many times you walk to your wrong apartment or walk to your wrong
Right.
house? How many times that happened?
Never.
Right.
Exactly.
I walked into the wrong
Exactly.
car.
I walked to the wrong car,
house.
Wrong.
I
but not the
walked
wrong house.
towards the wrong car, but I'm at a higher level of intelligence than them. So I've only walked towards the wrong car. I never walked to the wrong car.
Gotta get his beard snatched.
Damn. You so
Oh my
violent.
God.
Yeah, none of this shit makes any sense. Is the long and short of it. It's fucked up. We need to get a solid conviction here at the end of the day. We
Yeah.
need-
She's
this is bullshit.
been charged with manslaughter, right? And then they took it away, and then they put it back.
Mhm.
This is bullshit.
And was he in house sleep? That's what Ron just said. Was he
No.
in there sleep? Was he in there chilling? Like what was
We
he
don't
doing?
know what
you know
was
when he was
happening.
killed.
It just
You know what
and she
I'm
shot him twice in the chest or something. Like
Something
it's
like that.
it's just it
It-
doesn't
it's-
make any
it's-
sense. How did you how? Because first of all, if he opened the door, because I just don't believe that the door was locked. I mean, I don't believe the door was ajar.
I don't
So
either.
if he answered the door, then why did it go from answering the door to now shooting him? And now
Also-
the thing is, it's nice because it's an electronic pass. What they're going to be trying to figure
There's a
out
footprint
is
that's
if she
left
went
every time you swipe
exactly.
the
There's
card.
a footprint left, so they're going to see if maybe she went to her apartment first, then went to his apartment.
And then also, they were saying on MSNBC earlier today that it is impossible for those doors to be left ajar. They are fire doors, so they're heavy. So they automatically slam closed.
They're one of those,
whenever
They're weighted so they.
So
think
there
they
you
come.
go.
There's no
So
way that
there
you
you
can
go.
leave the door ajar unless
there you
it's
go.
propped open with something in front of it.
What are you doing?
So there's no way that this happened. So
Mhm.
yeah.
So we need to make sure we watch for conviction on Amber Geiger, and we need to ask questions and talk to our councilmen, talk to our representatives, and talk to the press, and talk to anybody who will fucking listen. Because it's getting to the point now where I'm just like where I am now, if a She was Asian or white?
She's white.
She's white.
White woman shows up at my door. I'm probably gonna be like, fuck this bitch, what? And open the door. Now I'm like, well, shit.
I'm not.
And
I
then
don't know no more.
even if he had a gun,
these terrorists are kind of scary now. Like,
the folk are like, well, this is why he should have a gun, and you know,
You're supposed to shoot somebody who's at your front door.
Well, here's the thing: even if he'd have shot her, he'd be going to jail.
he'd be dead. He wouldn't have made it. He still wouldn't have made it to
You
jail.
couldn't.
If he killed a white woman at
You're
his
not
door,
supposed
he'd
to
be
shoot
dead.
people.
Particularly a white police officer.
You're not
He
supposed
would
to
be
just
dead.
shoot people,
He wouldn't have
guys.
made it
It
to
doesn't.
jail
You're not
safe.
supposed to just shoot people.
This is why you can't listen to
We're now white. He wouldn't have made it to jail alive.
Yeah.
We're not white.
Nah.
So, but I will say this, and we can take our break after this. We don't know that. We don't think that he would have made it live and safely if he would have shot her.
Yeah.
But at least it would have been one of them gone and one of us gone. We're gonna take a break. We usually specify Nuda Mayor represent Nuda Mayor and not nobody else on the fucking show. I said it, bitch. Break time.
What?
He said some.
I
was like, whoa.
That escalated.
I was like,
quickly.
whoa. I'm
Did
not.
something happen? Are there comments that I need to be aware
No.
of?
He just was like, it's good that one of them's gone. It would have been.
Okay. All right. We'll be back in a few minutes. It's time to refresh my
Don't
brain.
bring clothes. Bring clothes. Get a lighter.
Oh my gosh.
Get a pillow.
Is there any? I need a.
Run the toppings from the pick and choose.
I need a knife. Oh.
Okay. Okay. We got
A knife.
strong power.
Let's do Trump and then shoot business. So, Neil, you gonna come back to Trump? You just gonna shoot for the rest of the shit for us. Trump is actually the real time, so that's the time. And everyone else was Trump.
I feel like we both be drunk because I'm not gonna be all easy. I mean, I will, but I'm not.
You made this on, you made it all the time.
That's why I said I just wanted to touch on it. And I'm like, oh,
I think we're gonna try to engage to the rest. Let's put it in the can.
okay, that's fine because we were already on schedule. We've been talking.
But I'll be ready. Tell you what happened. So go back and everybody appreciate.
Can I have an orange?
I can't I can't tell you.
That'll be with a piece.
So you
Or what?
take it.
Okay.
And God, we post that. We should. We should.
You shush. Don't touch my hat. Black dollars matter.
Wow.
Yeah.
You changed up. You see,
I've always been here.
Right.
I'm your best friend.
That's
No.
my best friend.
Rejected.
What you mean?
That's my best friend. There's
As
no other way
opposed to
to
what?
You.
Right.
So
Well,
I'm
I mean-
technically your best friend.
No.
When you say no, you mean like yeah, it's me.
No, I mean no. I mean
So, yes,
absolutely
me.
no. Unequivocally no.
About her.
Anonymous.
About her.
Anonymous.
She
Anonymous. No.
Don't touch my hat.
I'm your best friend.
Kavanaugh. No. I
Who
don't
you-
recall.
Who you know alone?
I don't recall.
I was
She
talking
can
to
save you.
myself. I was talking to myself.
Yeah.
Who you know alone?
Doesn't matter. Who I
That's
know
all
better.
that matters. You know her better than you know me.
Yes.
You know her better than you know me. She's
Yes.
a mystery to everybody.
No.
She doesn't know who she is.
I know who she is.
She doesn't. How do you know her
I
better
know
than
who
you
she is.
She doesn't know who she is.
I probably know her better than she knows
So that means it's subject to change.
What?
Huh?
Shut up.
There's a line here that I used to use. I can't remember what it is. But it's a
Because
line.
you old.
Yeah.
Use your brain cells, son.
She was eating like over 3 different slices of pizza.
Well, let her do her. Let her mind her business. Instead of you mind her business.
When I'm at my said, don't eat all the other pieces. We do the show. You don't come and you finish toppers with chocolate.
Ouch. Let's go.
I was about to say.
You over here hold this up. You can hold this up all the time. Oh, come on. Oh, Jesus, you okay?
Yeah.
My wrist and my thumb been hurting. Stop it.
Jamie, do something.
JB do something. JB do something.
Go.
She gotta go first.
Go.
She gotta
Well, y'all go.
Tell her.
Don't you be talking to my friend like that before I whoop your ass. I wasn't me.
I'm gonna whoop your ass on this train.
I put all these nipples to
It
your
wasn't
shirt.
me.
I
It wasn't me. I wasn't even doing
I
that. My
see it.
scoliosis.
He said my scoliosis.
Okay, still.
Oh, y'all. Oh, guess what? Ooh, I'm gonna get a house.
Oh,
You just go fuck upstairs and do
Can you
the
shut the front door?
I got you. I'm gonna handle your light work.
Yeah, handle my light work. Mel Bell. Yeah.
Like, wait.
Yeah.
Keep talking shit.
I'm not-
Get your ass
You
upstairs.
gotta go in there.
Get your ass upstairs.
Put your head up.
These niggas off the hook tonight.
Sorry, y'all. I just had to straighten out real quick.
Yeah, I see I begin to views. Yeah, we on commercial break. What you mean, fuck Dallas?
Yeah, you right. Fuck
What
Dallas.
the fuck you mean?
And fuck Jerry Jones, old racist bitch ass.
Well, Redskins the last scene that a black person play for him, so fuck the whole Redskins.
And but still, fucking Jerry Jones co-signed the fucking president. Fuck him.
If Jack Kent Cook was alive, who would you vote for? All right, then I
But
rest
he's
my
not.
case.
But we're talking 2018.
I said I rest my case. Damn.
Who that is? Oh, who asked you? Jerry?
Nah, this is
bullshit. You gonna whoop their ass and like, damn.
Hey, Coffee.
What up, Black Coffee King? How do I do? I don't even know.
All right, y'all. We coming back. We are
We
back.
ready.
We are
You
back.
ready.
We are
You ready.
back.
You're back. Come on, let's go.
Are y'all sharing?
Three best friends that everyone can have with it.
Oh.
Three best friends that
Anyone can have.
with it.
It's not happening.
Best friends that anyone can have.
Me, by myself, I'm all the friends.
Forever
I'm all the
leave each
friends that anybody can have.
other. No.
They be like, "No, who you?" I be like, "The best friend anybody can have." They be like, "True."
No.
I'm like,
No.
I'm like, call me back.
Shush.
Call me back.
No.
Cállate.
You from a labouche.
Fair made young Labush.
Cállate, pendejo.
You shut your mouth.
Maricón.
Bitch.
Punta.
I am kind of gay.
Ooh.
And I do have a pussy.
You said
So,
puta. That means bitch.
I didn't say that.
well, it depends on which dialect. Because some people say bitch, some people say means pussy.
You don't even know no dialect. Crack lives matter, Whitney.
Shut up.
What?
Get your shit together.
Huh?
Anyway, so are we going?
Welcome back
Thank you.
to Kickback TV live from Atlanta.
You get on my nerves.
I'm your prettiest host. Knew the man, the righteous ratchet. If you throw it, I catch it. If you got it, I match it. Every Sunday, Sam, I'm right back at it. Shaolin.
Regular.
Wow. Wow. And you didn't say anything either.
Fantastic.
No, right.
That's funny.
My joke was fantastic.
No, your joke was, your joke was fan and it was task.
Task,
I like task. Then it said tick, like it said tick, tick.
What is she talking
Tick
about?
you,
Whoa.
motherfucker.
You
What
don't
the
tick
hell?
you, tick you.
What
Okay.
up, y'all? It's your girl, So
Anyway.
Mellow, also known as Melanie Dion, of House Forehand, the Queen of Creeps, the Breaker of Men, also known as the Conscious Creep.
Damn.
Why are you so violent?
Wow.
That sounded.
Yeah.
That sounded.
Hey, what's up, Coffee King? It's JB Frank. I'm that gangster geek representing NWA, Nerds with Attitude. Happy Sunday. Let's get it moving.
Okay. Hey y'all, it's Pandora Alexis, aka Curls I Do Adore on IG. I am Learning Hippie Otaku. Happy Sunday and welcome back.
Ow!
Let's finish the show before New gets his ass whooped too much.
Goodness
Start getting
gracious.
upset.
So,
AKA Zion Big Brother. What up, bro? Okay.
how's he big brother?
I said his big brother.
Oh, I was like, he ain't big brother. What up, Zion? Anyway, so y'all know
It did.
whatever. Y'all know we've been on break for like 3 months, and a lot of shit has gone down in this administration. I'm going to start back from Helsinki, which was the meeting between the current occupant of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and the president of Russia, in which he basically went on to not defend the United States, but to support Russia in claiming that they did not do anything to interfere with our elections, and said, I don't see any reason why it would be them, and then went on to later correct that statement and say he meant to say wouldn't, which we know he's full of shit. This administration has been so full of scandal, but I'm gonna fast forward.
The highest turnover rate.
Yes,
too,
ever. These motherfuckers had a job fair that nobody came to. That, like, first of all, it's the White House. How do you have a job fair?
For the White House!
For the first
right.
time ever in history, having the Trump administration White House on your resume actually works against you.
Yes.
So you don't want to be there.
People were, people have been kicked out of restaurants because of they're working for the Trump administration. Sarah Huckabee Sanders was kicked out of a place over the summer.
Trash.
So we've had that happen.
Trash.
Then Omarosa had released her tell-all book. I can't think of the name of it right now. Shit.
Nigga bitch something.
No. Why you had it?
I didn't know what the name was. I didn't know.
That's not what it was.
I didn't know what the name was. That's
Anyway,
what
so she had her tell-all book. Then there was another tell-all book that recently came out. There was an op-ed that came out last week. But we're going to focus on right now the Michael Cohen pleading guilty to 8 various counts that all have to deal with. Some of them, he said that they were at the request of the candidate, which we all know at that point in time was Donald Trump. Then on that same day that the Michael Cohen convictions, his guilty pleas came out, Paul Manafort was convicted. So he was initially charged with like 18 different things. He was found guilty on 8 of them, and then the jury was hung on the remaining 10. So the Manafort convictions and the Cohen plea came out on the same day. Okay. Then after that, we now have the Kavanaugh hearings, okay? Brett Kavanaugh is being confirmed for the United States Supreme Court. He's replacing Justice Kennedy, who retired at the end of July. Kavanaugh now has had these allegations come out that where he allegedly raped a classmate of his in high school. Well, attempted to rape a classmate of his in high school. They were initially trying to dismiss the allegations as being like false. But the woman who made the claims has now decided to come forward. This happened today, okay? There's shit happening like every
Breaking
week.
news.
Okay, and so now what happened on like Friday or Thursday, Paul Manafort, who President Trump swore was not going to flip, told him, stay strong,
he swears.
Whatever. Manafort went into court and was basically like, yeah, I did it, and now has worked out a plea agreement. He pled guilty to basically everything. It's only
people don't care about Trump like Trump thinks they do,
and they know that he doesn't care about them.
No, exactly.
So
Trump is a terrible.
Trump. The only interest that Trump has is in himself.
Exactly.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if he even like screwed his kids over at this point in time. But so when Manafort pled guilty, it was like 2 charges, but those charges had a range of things that they covered. So basically now, and he's also cooperating with Robert Mueller. So you have all these things coming out. Michael Flynn, who pled guilty. George Papadopoulos, who pled guilty. Cohen, who's pled guilty. Paul Manafort, who is now flipped. Like, shit is hitting the fan, and I finally feel like we are like really on the path to getting this motherfucker out of office. We have midterms coming up in like 51 days or something like that. So y'all need to remember to vote. Vote like your life depends on it, because it really does.
Very, very good point. Very, very good point. I'll add one other thing. There's a movement out there, Need to Impeach. Go to www.needtoimpeach.com and sign the petition. They will provide you with information and materials to help you reach out to your local congressman and request, cajole, implore, convince people to make this move. Jerry Nadler, the former congressman from New York, the former Democrat from New York, is actually the one spearheading the movement. He's the one that's on the commercials that you see on CNN. I don't know if any of you guys have seen those, but this is something that we can make happen. But it is critical that the Democrats take over Congress. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, strategically, the Democrats need to take over Congress so that we can get Trump the fuck out of the White House. Let me say that again. Strategically, the Democrats need to take over Congress. So whether you are a Democrat or not, we need a Democratic Congress that we can get Trump the fuck out of the White House.
Can I also say, I think Trump is going to get pushed out of the White House. But I think the real importance in voting in the midterms is realizing that what comes after Trump is Mike Pence, who knows the government, who knows how to make moves, who's a quiet person, who doesn't tweet, who doesn't show his cards. Like Trump is somebody you know what's going on because he sits on the toilet at 4 a.m. and decides to tell you everything that's going on. Pence is going to be somebody who is able to make moves. Trump is the type of person Pence is the type of person to be able to make moves on the silent. So it's important that we have a Democratic Congress so that he's not able to go through with all the things that he would want to go through. Yes. So while we do want Trump to get out, it's very important that we don't get Trump out and leave Pence with a Republican-led government.
Yes.
It is not going to be a good thing. If you think Trump is a terrible thing, yes. But think if we are giving the reins to somebody who actually knows what to do. Like, it's going to be we just don't need it. Not Mike Pence.
And these evangelicals, they're not leaving that base. Like, they are largely part of why Donald Trump is in office right now.
Exactly.
And they're
going to come out.
Support. In their minds, Mike Pence is what it's what the ideal evangelical politician would look like. I mean, this is literally something that was said on CNN or MSNBC earlier today. He is what they would love to have as a political candidate. But the evangelical community is also shifting. There's a shift in that community as well. But regardless of that, we do not want to hand over a government controlled by Republicans to Mike Pence. We do not want that to happen.
We do not.
Because even if we don't get Brett Kavanaugh confirmed, he's still going to confirm a conservative person to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
And we really need to focus on the fact that confirming someone who is conservative to the Supreme Court is totally going to have an impact on Roe versus Wade. And it's unfair that women are having to be told what to do with their bodies, and there are no laws on the books that tell men what to do with their bodies. So, yeah.
And also keeping in mind, and not just about, Roe versus Wade, but keeping in mind how dangerous this has been for, women of this country. Like the amount of Planned Parenthoods that have had to shut down, the amount of rural hospitals that have had to shut down. This has overbearing effects on women's health in America, especially, as black people with black women who are way more likely to die in childbirth, to die because of just issues, because people don't listen to us. Planned Parenthood, I took advantage of Planned Parenthood when I was in college, when I didn't have, I had my mother's insurance, but there was a little gap when I didn't have coverage, and I was able to go to Planned Parenthood on a sliding scale and be able to get the exam, because Planned Parenthood, yes, they do abortions, but they do
that's 3% of the business.
Yes, it's tiny. Women, a lot of women need Planned Parenthood.
When they started for negative reasons, though,
they were started. They were
Mm-hmm.
started for negative reasons. They were started to try to control the population of colored people. This is true, but things change. Just like the Republicans and the Democrats, they used to be flipped. Republicans used to be for black people, and honestly, If you ask me, neither one of them are for
Nobody's
black
for
people.
black people.
But technically, the Democrats say they're for black people when they're not. But the Democrats used to be the party
They're just
against
better at
black
hiding
people.
their racism.
They're just better now. But the thing is keep in mind that there's so many different things, and when people say, and I'm sure we've all heard this, like people saying, "Oh, I don't vote because it doesn't have anything to do with me." I'm sorry. That is the dumbest possible thing you can say to me. The reason being is you live here in this country. Those people, they are the ones who make the laws, who govern your life. If you are able to just give your life away to a person, like just say, "Hey, just you guys, the rest of the nation, just figure out what you want me and my kids to go through," you're a dumb person. I'm sorry. I have nothing else to say about it.
And they don't even realize how it affects them because they see shit like, well, black people been poor the whole time. Nigga, yeah, since we come to this country, we have been disenfranchised, if you will. But it's been levels to this shit. There's been a Reagan disenfranchisement. There's a Bush disenfranchisement.
And we are making our way.
Disenfranchisement. There's an Obama disenfranchisement. There's a Trump disenfranchisement. There's a Kennedy disenfranchisement.
But if you put the right people in place because of voting, you can actually stop that kind of stuff. Because you can put people in office who will change the laws.
Here's the thing. A lot of these people, yes, there are things that we know directly impact us. But there are a lot of white people who don't realize that the things that they are voting for are against their own self-interest.
Until they cry on TV.
And they still go and vote against their own self-interest. They don't give a fuck.
Because it's become a race thing. It's a race, because that's going to go way back.
It's become a race thing and a gender thing. And I want to say to like Coffee, JB, Zion, y'all need to start fucking with white women because white women did a lot of voting for Trump. And if y'all not gonna fuck them and keep them under lock, then I don't know what's gonna happen. We're gonna have to do something because too many white women voted for Trump over Clinton, over Hillary.
Can we also make the point of saying that just because a white woman likes to sleep with a black man, it can just be a fetish. It doesn't mean that she likes black people.
Not racist.
Because there's plenty of white women who have had black children and then called their black children niggers to their face.
Yeah, I'm not saying when you're having sex with her, she tells you to fuck you with her nigger dick. Fuck her with her nigger dick.
Well, we're not. Yeah,
that's terrible.
I'm just saying, this shit happens.
So,
and we know it happens because people have talked about it.
I don't have a say because I don't know the list.
Yeah, I don't know where we're going with this because you
somewhere else. Let's go somewhere else.
You've skipped shit, so I don't know where we're going.
Yeah, we're skipping.
Yes.
I didn't bring up any topics.
I didn't skip nothing.
I didn't introduce a topic. I haven't introduced no topic.
You skipped when you put us
What's
on
the
break.
next thing?
You skipped.
And then we come back to
here.
you.
What's the next thing?
No, you said go to Trump. That wasn't the next thing.
Oh boy.
So you skipped. Where are we going?
Yeah, let's just pick one. Let's pick one.
Ricky, where are we going?
Let's go to the Donald Trump shut up stupid award.
All right. Well, you introduced that.
So we have legendary MC Nas and his ex-wife Kelis / baby mama. The last few months when we were on break, Kelis was making disparaging statements about Nas in the press, saying that he had beat her. We were all, that happened actually right before we went on break. We were all dumbfounded, didn't know what to say, didn't know we should be ban Nas or what the fuck did we do. And Nas kept quiet. And he eventually spoke out, saying he never put his hands on her. Like when they had a fight, it was because he was trying to stop her from hitting him. And he grabbed her. And he's like, how the fuck do you make that a domestic, how do you do that now? Because I won't let you beat me up. Now you...
And women do that. Women have done that. I've known men who have had that done to them, which is fucked up.
You know one of them.
Yeah, it's messed up. It's messed up. It's messed up.
And, he spoke on that. He did a whole tirade, monologue, whatever you want to call it, on Instagram, where he spoke about it. And he said, hey man, this is a money ploy. She wants more money. And because I'm going to give her more money, now she's dragging me through the mud. And he's like, I'm tired of it. You don't let me see my son as much as I want. I'm sick of that shit. Now you doing this shit. I'm sick of this shit. No more. We're going to end this now. And this is in my character. Y'all know I don't speak out on shit. But at this point, I got to say something. And I want to believe Nas. I want to. I don't know what the truth is, of course. But that's what I want to do. But it's a weird world we live in. Because Kelis said he beat her. So what do we do? Can we say, no, I believe Nas? Because that isn't apropos to say the least. So it's a very damning thing when a woman accuses you of something like that, especially in 2018, because of the time that the Me Too, Issa Rae time that we in. So I don't.
You stop blaming Issa Rae.
Issa Rae has nothing to do with any of this.
Wait a minute. Let me get my thoughts out before y'all. Let me finish.
You about to take Issa out of this.
Like I said, the Me Too, Issa Rae movement.
You leave it so long.
So you never know really what to say or what to
shit.
do. So you're sitting
Talking
there.
shit about my African sister.
And she my African sister. I love Issa.
You don't act like
I
it.
do.
You blame everything.
I don't blame.
Negative.
I don't. No, I'm like everything negative on her. She didn't vote for Trump. I don't blame everything on her.
Negative dealing
No.
with relationships.
No, I love Issa. Issa the shit.
Keep talking shit though.
But
You're
you
not
gotta
gonna
check
have no
it.
beard. You're gonna
She's-
be out here looking
Damn.
like a newborn baby.
Wow.
Damn.
Finish your point.
Yeah, please.
My point is, it gets tricky, and so I can't hear you. So I look at it like we need to. I want to believe Nas, and I don't know what to think the entire situation, but it's tricky, and it makes me want to pay attention to a lot more and try to figure things out. But at the same time, I'm busy worried about my life. So I
You
don't
gotta be
fucking
worried
know.
about your life.
Post-marriage defamation is never a good thing in any way, shape, or form. However it comes out or whatever comes to light. Like these things need to be handled in mediation. They need to be handled with the judge in place or somebody to help moderate these types of things. When they blow up on social media, when they blow up in the news, that never ends well for anyone, really. Now, I have to admit, there are circumstances where I want to know about that. If there is abuse going on and you have no way out but to put it on blast so that somebody can come and help you or so that he can be brought to account, then that's one thing. But 10 years later, in the middle of a custody battle with all kinds of money on the line, that can't be that. It literally can't be that because you're already in front of a judge. So why the fuck are you telling everybody else? You know what I'm saying? Telling everybody else doesn't benefit you or doesn't help you, more importantly, in that situation. This is all bad. I don't like the dirt being slung, whatever, around, regardless of, what happened. That's how I feel.
I think that I gave them the Donald Trump shut up stupid award because I'm tired of hearing about it. Like, resolve it, figure the shit the fuck out, and move the fuck on. I don't want to necessarily disparage Kelis or Nas, but I want to say that it isn't always the best way to present your disputes through a public forum.
Can I say this though? I have been party to a woman who has, because she is upset that a man is trying to move on from her, who has tried to make the process of everything just as difficult and long and painful as possible. So I think it's slightly unfair to say that because I think Nas has tried to do the right thing in not talking about it publicly and not saying, yo, Kelis is crazy as fuck. This is what she's been doing, this is whatever. And honestly, he probably could have posted some text messages that he has. He could have been really messy about this. He could have been like, let's talk about her finances. Let's talk about this. But all he did was he defended his name. He was like, I'm tired of my name being slumped in the mud. Which I think you would do too. You would probably be like, you know what? I can't do this anymore.
I feel like Future would do the same thing. But for some reason,
let's leave Future out of it. No, listen. Because because let me tell you why that's different.
How come Nas ain't mad Kelis
Can you let me
moved on?
talk?
How come Nas ain't hurt Kelis moved on and he just can't deal with it?
Are you gonna let me talk?
That's what y'all say about Future.
No, that's not what happened. Let's talk about the fact that Future continues making music about Sierra.
My butt don't hurt. And I don't do that.
And the fact that he has been Future is. It's a totally different situation because Sierra has not been talking about Sierra has not.
Never stopped
Stop. Sierra has never said, "Oh, Future beat my ass." Future don't take care of his kids unless
she
he's
never
not
said
taking
that, but
care
y'all
of his kids.
assume that she said.
Can you listen? Can you listen?
I'm just saying.
Because you're just so ready
He
to
be
jump
so
at
ready
it.
to pounce
He's
on
so ready
Sierra.
to, he's so ready to pounce on Sierra that you don't be
Shit,
listening because you just want to jump on her and you being ignorant for the purpose of because you just don't want to fuck with Sierra. Like,
I
but
like Sierra.
no, listen, no, stop.
No, you don't.
Because
Because
you're saying that Sierra is the same as Kelis, and Kelis has done way more fucked up shit than Sierra has ever done in Future. So you cannot compare the two. Sierra might have done some petty shit, but she never like did anything that was like really throwing dirt on this man's name, like trying to get him in jail.
Y'all did it for her.
Whatever. Anyway, so it's not the same thing. The point is, to be serious, is that there are women out there who will do that kind of shit. Sierra did not do it. Like, that's a petty way to think of it. She didn't do it. But Kelis has done some things that are really questionable and really put, Nas out there. And the fact that he just wanted to, say, yo, this is my name. I don't appreciate you doing this to my legacy. Everybody who knows me knows how I am, and I'm tired. Like, I have complete respect for that because he could have been real messy with it. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, Kelis need to let it go and be a woman about it. And say, look, like, you are damaging your son. You should never use your child as a chess piece. Like, and cool. Yeah, herself too. But honestly, your child, you should be thinking about your child. And the fact that child's father wants to have a relationship with that child and you are keeping that child from him. And the thing is, children remember. Children remember. And this is and the thing is Kelis is famous too. This shit is all being documented. Your child will figure out what you did. You need to come up and just step up and be a woman and let that child have a relationship with his father. Or her father, whatever. I can't remember what it is.
Milkshake head ass.
I ain't got respect for women who do that. You're hurting the baby.
Well,
You're hurting the baby.
And when I spoke out about speaking out, I was actually primarily talking about Kelis, not so much Nas. He has to.
He has to. Like, at this point, he has to. It's just been too much.
He is a social icon.
It's been years of this.
He is an icon.
And it's been years of this. It's been years of Kelis abusing this man's name. And the thing is you got to have a stopping point. And the thing is, and honestly, I am of the mind that there is nothing wrong. I don't believe in like a man should full on hit a woman in the face. There's no point that a man should punch a woman in the face. But if a woman is attacking a man and he restrains her, that is not abuse. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And people will say, oh, well, he shouldn't have grabbed her wrist. Like, she got
like, nah, you're not going to just hit on me like this.
Yeah, you're not about to do this. And the thing is if Nas did hit Kelis, he's wrong. Like, but we don't know what happened behind closed doors. But what I can say is that Kelis should not be keeping this child from its father. I can say that.
And we don't know what Future did and Sierra did behind closed doors, but she should not be
Stop.
She's not. The thing is, Sierra ain't keeping the child away from Future. Future just too busy for his child. So that's a difference.
How you know?
Because he ain't with the child.
How you know he's not with the child? How you know he's not with the child?
Okay. Anyway, you're just so ready to hop
it's
on
on
Future's
Issa
side.
Rae,
Anyway,
YouTube, Sierra movie.
Earlier this week, I made a post about have you ever pooped and looked at it and then been like, oh my God, that came out of me? And that post set this one all the way off. He was very upset. That's a lie. He went on to make a poll about whether it was appropriate or not, as to whether I should be able to talk about those things on Facebook, which led to other polls. And yeah, he's very upset about my opinions on number twos on Facebook. I don't know why he feels like, no, I know why he feels so strongly about it. But I just don't care. Because I'm just like, if you are going to decide that I am undateable based off of that conversation, then fuck you. I don't need to date you anyway. Because to date me, you're going to understand that there's going to be some shit on Facebook that I'm going to talk about.
My take on that is I've had many people.
It might be you.
I live in a world where I'm slick like Big Brother to a lot of people. So I'm always the back of the Big Brother. I am. Not everybody does this. The kind of I'm voicing my opinion to people a lot because I love them. It ain't no other reason than that. It's not like
Narcissism.
It's because I love them.
Because he likes hearing himself talk. And he
No,
likes his own opinion more than others.
Because I love them.
You love your own opinion.
He loves his voice.
Yes. This nigga loves his voice to the point where he puts his voice on ways for us.
He has his voice on ways for our directions. Yo, that shit is so aggravating.
And
we were on a road
put on his songs while the navigation is on.
Well, so we hear
This
his
is
voice
not what
on
we're
the
talking
song
about.
and on the navigation, and then he gets upset with us when we're like, "Please mute the voice." Y'all haters, no. And then he be in the car talking too.
Yes.
So you just be like, "Yo, it's coming from 3 places."
It's a trifecta of new.
Oh, it's just like new.
Oh, trifecta?
No.
No.
A lot of women like trifecta.
New.
Focus.
I'm gonna
Get to your
say
point.
this. I don't need to hear about your shit on Facebook.
And that's fine. You don't have to.
I'm not.
You don't have to engage in the conversation.
And that's literally what I did.
All I'm saying is,
I don't. Yeah,
you're entitled to feel how you want to feel. All I'm saying is, just because you don't want to hear about it doesn't mean that other men will be so turned off that they'll be like, "Oh, I can't deal with her."
I don't think anyone wants to hear about it.
And I do want to say this, that I never said the narrative was never a guy would read a post about you taking the shit and never date you.
No,
that was never the narrative.
It was
It was changed
along
into
that.
that. It was about a whole lot more than that. That was one thing that I focused on. I want to be clear on that. I never said, you made a post about taking the shit. No, nobody's ever going to date you. I never said that.
So,
But my point in that is that, I mean, I think all four of us here would agree. You would rather not hear about somebody else taking the shit. I think we agree.
Can I say this? Can I say this real quick? I will say I don't want to necessarily hear about bowel movements, but I think what Melanie is trying to say is that if that is a deal breaker for you, then it's a deal breaker for her. Because I know, like me personally, like I will talk about periods. Like I will talk about periods, and if you have a problem with me talking about periods, and that's a disqualifier for you, then all right, then I don't want to fuck with you. And the thing is just
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just preference. So like maybe, and I hear what you're saying. You're trying to offer her a critique. Like, listen, this is what I think like might be like a little bit better, sure. But she's saying, look, I understand. I hear your critique, but for me personally, if that's a deal breaker, then it's a deal breaker for me too. I hear your critique. I respect it, but I'm not gonna deal with that. Mm-hmm. So that's all. You know.
I'll say this. With me, I've been like, because there have been times when everybody in the five just hit me up like, what the fuck are you doing on Facebook? Because I was ratchet rapper, didn't need no job, didn't want no job. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want because I'm my own boss. I can't get fired. Yeah. You know, what you gonna do? Right. There's nothing nobody can do to me. And I couldn't change my subject matter because I'm like, bitch, I'm new to the man. This is how I talk. And then the definition of new to man changed. And then the way I talk changed.
Yeah.
But I do relate to I'll say whatever the fuck I want, but I also relate to I don't want to say that kind of stuff. And that's just real for me.
But she wants to say that kind of stuff.
Right, and I agree. And this is me, this is my olive branch. Yeah. This is me going, I kind of think
you just got to respect that other people have.
But however, let me get my thought out. Let me finish my thought. I keep trying, every time I make a point. I know everything I say is brilliant. It's brilliant.
No, make your fucking point.
Y'all want to like, yeah. I don't need all the applause. I don't need some clapping.
Make your point.
I'll just say this. That I had a homie to be like, well, I only make $10 an hour. So if a woman don't date me because I make $10 an hour and she ain't the one for me. And it's like, well, or you could just do things to make more money, dog. Like a woman, that woman I think gonna make $10 an hour is not an indictment on her. You could just make more fucking money. You could go back to school. You can get a better job. Just because. Just because. I don't know. So just because you only make $10 an hour doesn't mean the woman that doesn't want to date you, there's something wrong with her. How about you do the things to make more money, and then you'll get a different caliber of woman?
That's a false equivalency.
That's a real equivalency.
No, because the fact that a man cannot provide, somebody talking about
that particular lifestyle,
thing,
that he can provide something, just not the something that you would want.
What can he provide? What can a man who makes $10 an hour provide for me?
I don't know.
No.
So,
what, dick and problems? Dick and problems.
Good dick and problems.
Good dick, because you know a man who makes $10 an hour got some fine-ass pipes.
He's killing it. He's
killing it. Killing it. That's always the rule. The nigga when his shit just terribly fucked up
If
around
his shit
him.
is all the way fucked up, he's
Sleeping
gonna,
on somebody's
he's about
couch.
to lay your ass out.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
So
That being said, another example of me saying what I want to say, and just to kind of piggyback off of that, I have been this open since
Look at that.
basically since high school. So a lot of things that I may say, people may not necessarily agree with, but there are people who do agree with them, and they like me for my openness. So if you can't accept that, whether it's about talking about poop on Facebook or whatever, then I don't need to date you.
And that's just one of her
Because,
qualifiers.
yeah, I mean, because I'm an open person. I'm going to talk about things that are going to make people feel uncomfortable.
but that to me, you're muddying things up because I talk about things that make people uncomfortable. I think we do this show, so we all talk about things that make people uncomfortable. I'm talking about that in particular.
There
I
are
mean,
very
I mean,
degrees of
okay, how about this?
uncomfortability.
Would you talk about taking shits on Facebook?
No,
Would you
personally,
get
I wouldn't.
exactly? And
But
that's
no,
my
but
point.
I'm not
That's
the
my
same
point.
not
melody.
me.
Yeah, but that's not. But that's the thing. Like
And that's all we're saying.
unique. That's all we're saying. And the thing is, like, say you, for instance, you won't date a woman who's Christian, right? Or like, say that you had a woman who was like, "Yo, look, I understand you got your shit going on or whatever. Can you not talk about Jesus? Like, can you just not make like little jokes and can you just like not say anything disparaging about Christianity like ever? Because it makes me really uncomfortable." You'd be like, "No, fuck no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want."
I'm more involved in that. I would be like, oh.
You
she
would?
said-
You
she
would?
said, boo, you don't want me
You
to
a
talk.
lie.
This nigga will be like, first of all, you like Jesus.
Yeah.
You got to go.
He
Like,
like,
that ain't
"Don't
gonna work
talk
for
to
us.
you."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He's gonna stop it
I
at
was
the
at
door.
church this morning.
What
For the
church?
record,
What
It
church?
was the Church of Georgia, Atlanta.
Goodbye. Anyway, so what else we got to talk about? Because he's full of shit.
So, season finale, no.
I tell you what, this was, I want to let you guys in on a little secret, something behind the scenes. This show wasn't supposed to happen tonight, but it did, and it was good. It was good. We didn't want to disappoint you guys. We knew that going into this new season, there was going to be some transitions and some changes and some time things, but we did it. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
We did it.
We did it. Because we was going to go last week, and then Mel was out of
I
town.
was out of town.
He was going to go this week, but JB was supposed to be out of town.
And then it
And
got
JB
brought
came back.
Yeah.
And then we
I
got
won't date a Christian man, and no, I'm sorry, somebody was saying something about Christian. No. And that's okay. Sorry.
Same.
So it's a lot
Oh.
going on.
There's a lot going on.
So
Bruh, the comments are good.
What? No, continue the thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
This
I'm sorry.
is interesting. I'm having a good time.
So thank y'all for tuning in. We made it work some kind of goddamn way.
Wait.
And what time is it?
It's
10
10
o'clock.
Guys, damn.
We said
Y'all know the
that.
show. Thank you.
We're like an hour and a half late.
We will be back next Sunday.
On
Next
time.
On time. Now I feel like Joe Budden. I feel like the Joe Budden show. Because Joe Budden podcast, they be like, oh shit, we forgot 4 topics. We're going to start over, y'all, okay? I'm like, this ghetto ass show. But they on Spotify. Like, they making money. And they just be forgetting shit. Like, oh shit. Tell about y'all. We got to call Safari and get them on the show. We got you
You
the
know, he
interview.
fucked Lyrica and she might be pregnant with his baby, but okay.
No. Is that what? No. Is that, wait, oh no. Why do you have me watching this shit, Melanie? God damn it.
So, yeah, we will see you guys next Sunday. We will be on time.
Yeah.
What is on
Yeah.
time? 7?
Yeah.
Yes.
7.
Thank Jesus.
We will get this thing together.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get a chance to talk about
Everything.
the NFL
Mm-hmm.
in detail.
Serena
What's
her
and
name?
Naomi.
Yeah. Who is also black. I need for
She's
people to
Haitian.
acknowledge
Yeah,
that.
she's
Haitian
Haitian and
Japanese.
Japanese.
Yes.
They keep saying she's
She's another
Japanese
Tiger
only.
Woods. But
Yeah, she is another Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that's crazy. But yeah, no, she's definitely
Whenever
black.
they're mixed with Asian, they never give us credit.
Whenever they're mixed with, like, well, no, I guess when you're mixed with white, they say, what do they say?
When you're mixed with white, they call you
Yeah,
black.
one drop of
Vibration.
black in
Yeah.
you.
Vibration.
But like when you're
But that's-
Asian,
Unless you're
that's
Mariah
a lie,
Carey.
though. If
But
you
like,
get
I've
one
always
drop of
thought
black in you, you're not black. That's not true. That's just racist white crackers.
the one drop rule.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
And then the folk who, Sean King's allegedly not black.
wait, Sean.
Girl, the folk. It's the folk.
What?
They-
You know
they
what?
just come
I'm
up with
done.
all kinds of
I'm finished. What?
Yeah.
What? They
Yeah.
said that Sean King ain't black.
Oh, how do you feel
His
about
brother's
Sean
white.
King because his brother is white? And,
Oh,
I'm like,
my
wait.
God. What does that have to do with him? Cause his brother white? What?
Wow.
What?
Wow.
I'm done with y'all. Y'all are
Fucking
yeah.
wow.
I tried.
Stupid is as stupid does.
Stupid
Good
is
night,
stupid.
everybody.
Wait, haven't we had like two?
Stupid
we
is
did- okay.
Melanie Guns.
Power,
Oh, is it over?
Power had the finale last week.
Howard.
Angie's dead. Spoiler alert.
she
Sorry.
said it didn't say.
Bobby and
Why?
Bobby Brown's movie came out on BET. It was
That shit
actually
was good. It was
actually
good.
really good.
We got to see a different side of Whitney
yeah.
for real, like
Man,
the real Whitney.
That's the Whitney I remember when she come to the black hole in DC at the Go-Go.
I didn't grow up with either of them. So.
You know what's funny? That shit could possibly be true.
It is. She used to be turned up, trying to twerk. She ain't no cheeks. She ain't no cheeks.
They just talking shit.
She ain't no cheeks. No, she used to be able to no cheeks, just twerking. I was like, man, wait a minute. I'm getting rug burn.
No cheeks, just twerking.
What? He sound getting rug burn. No, I didn't really do. I didn't grow up with them. So
Yeah, so I can't wait for the Belle Biv DeVoe joint to come out whenever that is, and I'm sure Ralph Tresvant movie.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
I don't know who's in
All right,
it.
y'all. We about to end.
I don't know nothing about
Kickback.
it.
We had a crazy first
We had a
episode.
really good show.
I thought it was fine.
Hey everyone,
Peace out.
big head ass.
It's so shiny.
Sweaty